Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the John C. Scott Talk Show.
One of the more interesting defenses is the county has listed two election directors, one from Pinal County and one from Gila County. And part of the county's defense is that security is so bad in every other county that they can't let us audit what's going on in Pima's county, because if you think things are bad here, boy, are they horrible in all these other counties.
Oh, my God. Why am I laughing at this? Again, on the 4th of December, this judge is going to make what ruling? What will this judge say, one way or another?
Well, we scheduled the hearing for 3 days, 4, 5, and 6. So it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're asking just for an order saying we get the database, and in the clerk's office is a copy of the database that is sort of the prize of the lawsuit, or what they say is the database after they've had it in their possession for a lot of months while we're trying to get it. And so there'll be an order that either we do or don't get that database, and hopefully an order saying that in the future we can get it so that we don't have to sue for every election. You know, one of the aspects of our election laws is if you're going to challenge an election, you have to do it within 5 days. So and with specificity. So when it's all in a computer, you really need to get computer data, try to analyze that quickly, and then challenge the election. Because if you're trying to show an election is rigged months and years later, it's either impossible as a practical matter or legally impossible.
I suppose this has got some publicity. Certainly we've paid some attention to it on our show, but I don't see big headlines in the newspapers saying, there really shouldn't be any confidence in our voting system in Pima County. I know Ray Carroll has said he's read the depositions collected by you of the sworn testimony from the Elections Division, and he feels Pima County's government has failed the public. At least there's one elected official saying he thinks something's wrong. He said, quote, there's been a failure on the county administrator's part to disclose election information, and the things done in the service of the community are not transparent, and the government's failed. But why isn't there more people, when you realize the seriousness of your charge and the seriousness of this hearing on the 4th of December, more people upset about this? I mean, this should be so fundamental to democracy that you would think that people would be outraged, that even these questions would be asked, let alone unanswered.
Well, I don't understand why the morning and afternoon paper have not covered it more. But pretty much we don't have a press in Tucson. Pretty much we have two papers that are really just filled full of ads that are delivered to houses. It's beyond me why a case like this, and John, we talked before, this is a case where the county filed a pleading in court saying that they wanted this trial held up because every employee in their election department was likely to take the Fifth Amendment. And this is, none of us who are involved in election matters know of any place in the United States where a county has said that the guys running their computer are likely to take the Fifth because they've been involved with criminal activity, and not a word of that was in the local newspapers. It's astonishing.
There was one story in the Citizen back on the 24th that said Pima County could spend up to $10 million to provide greater security against voter fraud in elections. And I guess there was a memo to the county supervisors from Chuck Huckleberry. About $5 million of that would be spent on new voting machines, software, tabulating equipment, security cameras at the vote processing areas, and the remaining $5 million on a new building to consolidate operations which currently take place in two different locations. You can spend $100 million, but if you don't have a system in place where people are not scrutinized about their ability to access information concerning the vote tabulation, hell, it wouldn't make any difference anyway. I mean, the whole system's flawed, isn't it? And I don't give a damn how many hundreds of millions you spend. If you don't have a system that is going to be protective of the secret ballot, then it doesn't make any difference. You can build 5 new buildings, and that system's flawed, isn't it?
Exactly. You're absolutely right. The only thing it does is it helps with, let's say, a public relations gloss, where you can say, gee, we got this little security piece and this security piece and this security piece, but it's on the inside where the computer problems are. All the experts have said that they know of no way, or that anyone on the outside could hack in. They know of no attempts by anyone anywhere in the United States on the outside to hack in. It's the insiders that control the computer that can make changes in the computer, and it's the insiders' conduct that needs to be examined, and that's never been examined. I took the deposition of the insider who runs the machine, the one guy, and asked him what the security issues were with the Debo system, and he says he didn't know of any security issues. That's the guy who takes it home with him.
Well, we were talking about Brian Crane has for years been taking the backup tapes of the ongoing vote counting home with him, and that would suggest that he would know the number of ballots cast in each precinct for each candidate. I mean, he has the information right there. All he has to do is put it in the computer, right?
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, pretty valuable information, as you and I might realize, having run for office before. If you knew how well you were doing where and when, you could make a few final decisions in the last few days of the ballot process, and might help you out a little bit one way or another. I mean,
go to Mazatlan a few days earlier.
Well, that's right. I mean, just in our next.
Well, it's over. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I've already won. And by the way, it's Friday, and the vote doesn't come till Tuesday. Well, thank God for you, Bill. I mean that. I mean, we needed somebody as tenacious of you as you are, and as skilled as you are, to say, look, we need to find out the truth about this. And we need to fix this system because it's broken, and our votes are in jeopardy as to whether they're tallied properly or not. And it's the foundation of a democracy. I mean, we'd laugh about this if it were a third country, but you know what? It's not. It's Pima County. It's where we live. It's our votes. I mean, we'd be joking about this if it was in Venezuela. We wouldn't care. But it's here, and the same kind of flaws that can occur even intentionally elsewhere are obviously events that can happen here. It's pretty amazing. But Godspeed. Hope you do well in finding out the truth. You think you'll eventually find out what happens and how to fix it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. Good to talk with you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Okay. Thanks, John.
One of the most tenacious and brilliant, by the way, lawyers in America. That's Bill Risner. He represents the Democratic Party. And as the trial begins December 4th, Mr. Risner is expected to paint this extremely unflattering portrait of the internal security within Pima County's Elections Division, and the Weekly goes on to report that Risner represents the local Democratic Party and hopes to secure an outside oversight of the vote counting procedures, and he's asking Judge Michael Miller to order the county to provide copies of its elections database to all major political parties, and he cites the prohibition of the pretrial publicity. Pima County attorney declined to discuss the case in detail, but Risner's comments, the elections computer is fraught with security problems and can easily be rigged or manipulated by insiders. That's not in Venezuela, by the way. That's here in Pima County. The broadcast location of the John C. Scott Show is at the offices of the Owner Builder Network at 7627 East Speedway Boulevard. We'll return to our Thursday edition of the John C. Scott Show right after this.